At 3:17 a.m., my cell phone started ringing. I couldn't sleep that night. The rain was pounding against my apartment windows, and the ceiling fan was slowly turning, making an unbearable noise. 3 months had passed since Valeria's disappearance, and I hadn't felt any peace since. I glanced at my phone screen without paying much attention until I felt my heart stop. From my own number, I froze. I thought it was some absurd glitch, something impossible. I let it ring for a few seconds until it cut off, but it called again, and this time I answered. The first thing I heard was static, then distant breathing. Finally, a voice. My own voice. Distorted, broken, as if I was speaking from the bottom of a well. Don't open the door. At that very moment, there was a knock on my apartment door. 3 sharp knocks. Slow, precise. I felt a horrible chill run down my spine. I slowly got up from the sofa, still staring at the entrance. Everything was dark. The voice spoke again. If you open it. She come in. The call cut off. Then I heard something worse. Breathing from the other side of the door. Slow, deep, as if someone were patiently waiting for me to make a mistake. Primera vez que voy feeling my lembo. I tried to convince myself it was all a coincidence, but deep down I knew it wasn't. My phone vibrated again. I answered immediately. Who are you? The voice replied without hesitation. You have exactly 10 minutes before I find you. Who? There were a few seconds of silence. It said that if that woman stopped in front of your door. It was already too late. The voice spoke again. Valeria opened the door. I felt like my chest was going to explode. Where is Valeria? The answer came in a whisper. Underwater. The call ended. I ran to the window, trying to breathe. Outside, the rain was pouring down and the streetlights were flickering. Then I saw her at the end of the building's hallway. A woman, completely still, soaked white dress, black hair covering her face, barefoot. I felt like I couldn't breathe. The woman began to walk slowly toward my apartment. Each step made the hallway lights flicker. My cell phone vibrated again. Don't look at her. Too late. The woman stopped in front of my door. Although I couldn't see her face, I was sure she was smiling because I heard a laugh. A muffled laugh. Like someone laughing underwater. Then everything went silent. No rain, no wind, nothing. And then I heard a whisper behind me. You shouldn't have answered. I turned around immediately. There was no one there. But the hallway mirror clearly reflected a woman standing right behind me. I ran. I grabbed my keys and practically stumbled out of the apartment. I raced down the stairs to the first floor. The security guard looked at me, confused. What happened? There's a woman upstairs. The man frowned. Sir, you came in alone. No, there's someone in the hallway. The guard was silent for a few seconds before answering. That floor has been empty for years. I felt a terrible emptiness in my stomach. Then he said something worse, after what happened with the girl. I looked at him, confused. What girl? Valeria. Hearing her name made me freeze. How do you know who she is? The man swallowed slowly. Because she died here, everything inside me collapsed. I felt like the air was being sucked out. Her body was found 3 months ago in the building's water tank. I couldn't believe it. Valeria was dead. All that time I kept texting her. I kept thinking she would come back. And then I remembered something awful. The last time I spoke to her, she was crying. She kept repeating the same phrase over and over. She found me. My cell phone rang again. I answered immediately. It was Valeria, or at least it sounded exactly the same. She was crying. Don't trust him. I looked at the security guard, and then I noticed something strange. His shoes were completely wet, as if he had just gotten out of the water a few seconds ago. Valeria's voice screamed desperately. Run! The security guard lunged toward me. I ran out into the rain, hearing footsteps chasing me. hid behind some parked cars, trying to catch my breath. And then I saw something that froze me in my tracks. The security guard had no shadow. I backed away slowly, but someone touched my shoulder. It was an old woman. I'd never seen her before. She stared at me, terrified. The call started with you, didn't it? I didn't answer. She quickly took me to an open coffee shop near the building. There she began to tell me a story that changed everything I thought I knew. 20 years ago, a man was obsessed with recording the voices of dead people. He claimed he could communicate with spirits through phone calls until he disappeared. Then the calls started, people receiving calls from themselves. And days later, they vanished without a trace. Who was that man? The old woman stared at me. Your father. I felt like the world stopped. My father had died when I was 8, or at least that's what I thought. The woman pulled out an old photograph. There he was, smiling in front of the same building where I lived. And behind him was that woman from the hallway. I felt an unbearable chill. What does she want? The old woman answered in a low voice. Come in? At that moment, my cell phone rang again. The screen displayed a single word. Dad. I answered, trembling. I heard breathing, then a broken voice. Son, don't let him use your body. Then there was a terrifying scream. The call was filled with static, and finally a female voice whispered slowly, I've found you. The lights in the cafeteria exploded. Everything went dark. People started screaming. And then I saw her outside, standing in the rain. It was Valeria. But something was wrong. Her eyes were completely black. Her smile was too wide. Her head was tilted in an impossible way. She started walking slowly toward the cafe. The old woman began to pray desperately while I remained frozen. Valeria placed a hand on the glass and spoke. Why did you leave me alone? The door slowly opened, and all the cell phones in the cafe began to ring at once. Dozens of rings. Dozens of vibrations. I answered, and I heard my own voice. If you want to survive, you have to remember what you did. Then I remembered everything. The fight, the screams, the shove, the fall, the water. My God, I had killed Valeria. That's why she disappeared. That's why no one could officially find her. Because I hid her body myself. I fell to my knees crying as I felt the world crumble around me. Valeria approached slowly, but she no longer seemed furious. She seemed sad, very sad. She leaned toward me and whispered, I just wanted you to tell the truth. The lights stopped flickering, the cell phones died, and she disappeared. Hours later, the police found me. I confessed absolutely everything. The case was all over the news. People hated me. And they were right. But that wasn't the worst of it. The worst happened months later, in prison, at 3:17 in the morning. My cellmate got a call. He looked at the screen, confused. And slowly he looked up at me, because the number calling him, Guasmini.